recording is started. Okay, guys, welcome in. It is Sunday, August 24th. Great day. I have my birthday week coming. Did my birthday stuff today. Went on the Nürburgring track. Fucking fun. Got to drive one of my dream cars. Had an amazing time. But while I was driving, while I was on the Nürburgring being a spectator and driving, a lot of things happened in crypto. So we need to talk about what's happened in crypto from Friday till now, because a lot has happened. So let's go over that. Let's talk about what happened with NASDAQ. Let's talk about what Jerome Powell said with federal interest rates and what they're planning to do in September. And then let's talk about some stocks. Sound good? Sound good? Sounds good to me. All right. So let's do this. Let's initially hop into our watch list. There's one thing I want to say first. If you check this out, you'll see we have right now only a few green things on the day. And there's only two assets here. USDT is not an asset. Sol and ETH are the only two that are green on the day. What happened on Friday, if you guys don't know what happened on the 19th, so this is Tuesday of last week, I started to buy Ethereum. I knew that we were going to crash. I knew so much so, and I can prove it because I was taking shorts. The first one didn't work. The second one worked. There was a live stream where I talked about I knew that an 8% drop was coming, and it happened. So that's great. But the main move wasn't even to short. It's to go long because there's so much more. I mean, you can see it made it almost 20% move to the upside. I made an 8% move to the downside and 20% to the upside. So you can understand that there's more value in the long. Anyways, if you missed a short. But nonetheless, let's talk about why ETH did this. And if there was a setup you could have taken. Obviously, you saw that on the 19th, I started buying ETH on TWAP. If you don't even know what that means, it just means that for 48 hours, I have a program buying ETH at an average price every hour. So it's just for 2 days straight, I'm constantly buying ETH. It's honestly been a massive help on my mental to TWAP, because I can be like, look, I know this is a great level. Maybe it's not the bottom, but if I TWAP for 48 hours, it gives me 2 days of like price action to move around. I'll get an average price after that. And it was great. And I got a TWAP the whole time. I market entry a little bit heavy in the beginning and then TWAPs it out. But nonetheless, we knew we were buying here. So the reason I was buying, obviously I bought, but let me teach you why I bought. I'm going to delete the little screenshot or the P&L tool here. One of the main things was, if you look back to August 10th to August 11th, I was talking about these equal lows hitting. I was like, during this period, I said, I think the equal lows are going to hit. And obviously, I wasn't right until a week later, but they eventually hit. And I said, this point of liquidity after all-time high got front ran, all this means is this, you can see, this is the price from August 14th. It was about 1% away, 1.5% away from all-time high. So it edged the all-time high and then fell approximately 15%. And the whole goal here was, if we're that close to all-time high, it's pretty much guaranteed we're going to eventually hit it. We just need to figure out where price is likely to go, where enough sell-side liquidity is found, where we can then join the order book and buy it. So we join at the market. And the goal was this H4 fair value gap and a sweep and an H4 EMA is close. I know this isn't a tap. Like last time we bought ETH, it was here. So if you go back to August 2nd, you can see the proof of me buying here at the lows. Obviously, we had a 4-hour tap, which is great. This time we didn't exactly get one, but nonetheless, we were so close, I was okay buying early. And I proved I bought early by posting I was buying. So that's the whole ETH setup, and that's how we were able to buy ETH constantly at the lows and pull it to the highs. So an honestly generational run. With crypto right now, I told you guys this last week, but I am right now, as long as I don't fuck up the rest of the year, this will be my highest P&L of all time. So 2025 will be the year I've made the most money ever trading. And I always reference 2021 and 2022 because I made a retarded amount of money then, and I wasn't able to do the same. And I was able to do great in 2023 and 2024, but if you were there post-COVID and you saw what the markets were doing, I was over leveraging, I was margin trading, I was borrowing funds to trade more. It was just an easy time. And then I kind of got my senses straight in the later part of 2022, and I was like, okay, I can't risk that much. Like I easily could have blown up. If things didn't go my way in 2021, I easily maybe not have been here today and lost everything. But sometimes you have to take big risk, and I had to do it back then. and I lowered the risk, of course, the subsequent years after. So this year will now be the year I've made even more than 2021 with good risk management too. So although it was cool making all that money back then, I honestly had to risk a lot, and I would never truly recommend other people to do what I did. But now this year will be the most I've made in a sequential, from a chronological point of time, from January 1st to now August 24th, with doing it the right way. So I'm very proud of that, and I'm very proud of everyone that got to watch my journey, because everything was logged. Like this past year, I logged every single trade in a book, publicly audible, so you guys can all watch it. And it was amazing. I am so proud of myself, and I always pat myself on the back and gloat, but I'm very proud that this will be my highest P&L year of all time, and everything was recorded in front of your guys' faces too. So huge time. Enough about that. Let's continue with crypto. So obviously ETH, here's my sentiment. I made a little video and told you guys I'm not selling ETH at all-time high. I think it's idiotic. All-time high is not a point of buy-side liquidity. Although, yes, you can see that when all-time high got hit, people sold it off, and we dropped 3% immediately. But for me, if I was to sell all-time high consistently all the time on everything, stocks and crypto, I would have considerably underperformed every year. What do you think happens when something hits all-time high? Do you think it goes back to zero? Do you think it goes back to zero? No. Now, sometimes, obviously, we know it happened with Bitcoin in 2022. It had a massive drop after that all-time high run. But for the most part, when an asset trades at its highest price it's ever been, and you sell it, you're inherently saying that you believe the asset trading at a price that's never been bought before in the past is a bearish scenario. People are paying the highest price ever for Ethereum, the highest price ever for Bitcoin right now, constantly keep buying it, and you want to sell for what reason? And most of the time that reason is skepticism. You don't have enough confidence in what you're doing, so you sell when it's in price discovery. I urge you to learn from what I'm saying and not do that. Like Microsoft, Google, Meta, which is Facebook, S&P 500, QQQ, all of these are Robinhood. All of these stocks that I was buying in April, in May, I haven't sold them. And you go look at the long term. I'm telling you actively to not sell them, and they're trading at all-time high. I'm here to make you money, and you don't make money selling an all-time high. It's the best event possible for your assets. Please don't fumble the bag there. Okay, let's continue moving forward. Sorry to digress slightly. Another coin that's green is Solana. Looking great. Really not much for me to update. Most of these assets have been trading at the same price since, July to August. They're about the same price. We had potentially the highest weekly close since February coming up on Sol, bullish event. For the most part, I think that this is really good. Like, I'm going to keep buying Sol. It's I think 3% of my portfolio right now. If Sol trades lower, so if Sol has like a 5% drop, I think you should buy it into the daily fair value gap. Most of these, you'll notice that I have pretty much the same sentiment. Like Ethereum. I think right now you can buy Ethereum. Like, if you don't own Ethereum, I think you can buy it right now. And some people may call me crazy for recommending to buy Ethereum at all-time high, but you just heard my whole spiel about it. So if I'm not going to sell all-time high, I'll definitely buy it. And Mark Minervini ran a fucking hedge fund that was doing billions in profit a year. And he had one strategy that was just buying all-time high breakouts. So take it for what you will. If you don't want to believe me, believe the guy that was moving billions. Let's go through the list. Litecoin you can buy right now, 4-hour fair value gap after a market structure shift. I think most of these have that exact setup. Yeah, Link has it. I don't know if Algo does. Algo has it. Not really my favorite. I own Algo, but not exactly my favorite here. I haven't sold any of it for profit. ENS looks good. ETC looks fucking good. So you guys know that I'm heavy on ETC. We're back at the highs. So ETC was trading in late July, where you guys love late July. Late July was a great price. I mean, we got, 50% move in 11 days. Everyone loved the prices up here, but you didn't like the prices down here when it dropped 25%. Yeah, I mean, that kind of sucks, but we ended up rebuying, so it's back at the same prices. If you're heavily overexposed and you can't handle these small dips, like ETC is down like 8% from the highs now. If you can't handle these small dips, then fucking sell when you hit it. I can handle them. That's why I'm not selling. People keep asking me, like, why aren't you selling your alts? I'm like, because first off, my entries are extremely low in the range, and I think we go higher. When you sell, you're telling yourself that you don't believe things will get better. Because if you believed things would get better, then you would keep holding. But you don't have enough belief and you're fearful, and you let your fear control your emotions, and your emotions control your hands, and your hands press the sell button. Okay? It was a weird way to get to that idea, but we got there. AVAX, another update on AVAX. I'm just going through the alts that I own primarily right now. AVAX is looking good. There's not much to update. Yeah, market structure shift from the highs, but we're trading back at July highs. So it's really not like that much to say. There's a daily fair value gap below us that you can buy, but for the most part, the market's looking great. We have ENA, which is sick. We were buying ENA down here on August 21st. It made a nice 24% move in one day, which is great, and I'm not selling it. Again, if I think prices are going to go higher, why would I sell? If you don't believe me that prices are going to go higher, that's okay. I could be wrong. Just sell and take your fucking money. I don't want to be the reason that you hold too long or don't hold long enough. If you don't like when I buy something, don't buy it. But again, if you like what I'm saying and you have any sort of confidence in your positions, I urge you to hold a little bit longer. Hold on to the winners, sell the losers early, which is funny because I do have something to bring up. Like Maker. Maker, I made a bunch of money off, and then I sold it. If you guys remember this, I bought Maker in July, and it took me about 10 days to make a 27% profit, and then we started selling it. And then eventually we got hit back at break even. Look at Maker now. Maker is down 20% from the lows. So not only am I holding on to the right things, but I'm selling the wrong things too. Well, that sounds bad. I'm holding on to the winners and I'm selling the losers. Selling the wrong things sounds a little bit of counterintuitive to what I was trying to get at there, but you get the point nonetheless. Next, everyone's asking about Tether dominance. Okay. This is what I think about Tether dominance right now. So we've seen the same thing constantly happen over and over. The last time we had a small dip was here in July. So it was late July to August 1st, which is 15 days of down or sideways movement. We had an 11% move up on Tether. The H4 EMA broke, and then it broke back down, and we proceeded lower. What the fuck do you think is happening right now? This is the exact same playbook. We trade into a 4-hour, which is actually this whole zone. We trade into a 4-hour, we break above the H4 200, and then we retap it once and then fall back under. That's exactly what happened in early August. So what I suspect is that we will continue to the downside on Tether dominance. Sorry, when I say continue the downside, I'm referencing the asset I'm looking at. Some of you may have thought I was talking about crypto. I'm not. I'm talking about Tether market cap dominance in relation to everything else. I think this week we'll see it. So this week, obviously we need NASDAQ to play game with us, but we'll trade up into this and then we'll continue lower. And I do need to make one major update, one major update. If Tether trades to 3.71%, I will be taking pretty heavy profits. If that happens, please listen to what I'm about to say right now. If that happens before September starts, I'm going to sell aggressively. I am going to sell extremely hard. And this is what everyone wants to know is like, oh, you've made so much money. When are you going to start selling? This is it. If 3.71% hits on Tether, I am going to start dumping the bags. Like I will probably move to above 50% cash in the portfolio if that happens. So I want all of you to know this. I'm saying it beforehand. Everything I say is beforehand, and then it happens. If this happens, this is where I will be collecting my yearly profit before September. And some of you may ask, why before September? Can someone in the chat post ETH seasonality in September? That would be nice if any of you could do that because I can't pull it up right now. But ETH is typically bearish, or at least closes the month down minus 10 to minus 20%. And yes, thank you, Don. I forgot about that. And rate cuts are in September. And if you know what I've been talking about with rate cuts, I think no matter what the fuck happens, I don't care what Jerome Powell says or Trump says, I think either way the market goes down. And I can be wrong. I've been right literally with everything this entire year, so I do expect to be wrong eventually, but I'm staying with full confidence. There it is. There's the ETH monthly returns. Thank you. I'm just going to put this on the screen right now so everyone can see it. If you can't, okay, so thank you for who posted that. RH, thanks you, mate. That's exactly what I was looking for. So here's ETH's monthly returns that I want you guys to all check out. September, We have September of 2015, minus 45. 13 in 2016, minus 21, minus 17, plus 3, minus 70. You can see that the times it does close green, it's not by much. And the rest of the bad September months really overshadow it. This doesn't go to 2021, so if you guys have more of the data, great, but I guess this helps as well. Oh, there it is. Thank you. I have all the data now. I'm going to post this on the screen. I appreciate it to all of you posting. So here it is. 2021 minus 12, minus 14, plus 1, plus 0. So again, I am publicly making this statement. I have a target of 3.71% on Tether dominance. If that hits, I am getting the fuck out of the market. And look, if I'm wrong and we keep dumping, so fucking be it. But I am going off of the historical idea that when a massive bull market starts, which the last one was in September of last year, and this was a 90-day bull market when Tether did a minus 43% move, as soon as it took the relevant swing low, it went into a full bear market for 126 days. 126 days. Now, yeah, maybe it doesn't happen again, but I don't give a fuck. The data supports that it will. So if the data supports it will, don't fuck up this bull run and hold too long. All right? So please, God, don't. This is the most important thing I'm saying to everyone involved with crypto. In October, I'm probably going to make a YouTube video that I was right to sell everything in September and look at what the market did. That's my statement. This is recorded and will be posted. This is audible. I'm the only one fucking doing this shit. I won't brag too much, but you guys fucking see it. And then, yes, I will then get re-involved in October. Yes, I will then get re-involved. Yeah, will not be leaving the markets for that long, but I will look to get back. You can see October. I mean, look at the fucking data, right? October's historically very green. So I'm going to be selling in September. It's like go away in September, fuck around, and then come back in October, all right? Okay, let's continue. Yeah, November is always a good month too. You can see it from the data as well. Like the rest of the year is good, just so you know. Like this isn't my opinion. This is what's been happening, okay? Let's move forward. That's all of crypto. Does anyone have any questions? I know some of you don't give a fuck about crypto. Sorry. I'm very much so involved. Any questions? Looks like I'm hopping in crypto in October. Yeah, I mean, you can also short in in September with me. But yeah, whatever. Everyone sound good? Yeah, 3.71% on Tether. Sound good? Any questions? If you are new, it's okay. There's no dumb questions. Please ask me anything. You are literally here to learn. If you don't ask what the fuck you're confused about, I can't read your mind and figure out what you don't know. You have to tell me. And I encourage everyone that's new. Guys, I was in your fucking spot before. I was a retarded idiot blowing my BitMEX accounts and giving all my money to Arthur Hayes to fund his mansion in Argentina. I was there. So use me as a support tool so you don't fucking make stupid mistakes in the future. This one. Oh, there we go. Sorry, I got the fucking lights blasting me right now. Okay, thank you. We did get some questions. Let's look. How's MYX looking? You mentioned, yes, thank you, Roan. So MYX, I am looking at getting. Oh God, there we go. Can't let you guys. Right, that's perfect. Anyways, I'll hide that reflection. How's MYX looking? Good. I'm probably going to buy it soon. And some of you probably have no idea what the fuck this coin is. It is now Hype's competitor. It's down bad, down really bad. It's down 50%. And I'm looking to buy it now. I don't know when I'll buy it. I'll probably buy it soon. You'll know when I buy it. Dragonfire said, do you think that ETH is following the Bitcoin chart on the weekly if you zoom out? Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. And my thesis is Bitcoin's going to not move for the next. I think Bitcoin maybe moved like down a little bit in September and a little bit in October. But right now, what Bitcoin does doesn't fucking matter. ETH is now, we're in ETH season. It is 100% confirmed. We are in the season of ETH. and we should only focus on that. What Bitcoin does will not matter. They are not paired anymore. They will be paired again, but not right now. Ezra said, what about futures market NQ? What money looks like? We'll get into NQ in a second. Next thing I do is talk about NASDAQ. Logic said, not a specific question, but just a general one. Crypto futures, I keep round tripping my portfolio. I think I have a very long bias all the time, and you round trip, and I round trip my profits a lot. Is there any advice you would give to combat this issue? If you're round tripping, I assume it's because you have a good position, and then you have unrealized profits that you let go back down, and then you sell it for break even. That's what I think is happening. Only two things you can do: sell into strength, or you'll sell into weakness, which is by relevancy your break even point. One way to compound, especially if you're growing a smaller account, is to take profit aggressively, even more aggressive than I am. So maybe like my selling isn't helpful to you because I'm willing to hold through 10, 15% drawdowns and not sell, but maybe you get scared and you have to sell. And then when it goes back to the highs, you're like, well, fuck, I'm still holding and he's not, so I have to sell, or something like that, right? So the only thing I can tell you is you just need to trust yourself more and hold longer, or you need to take profit more aggressively. CP said, what about Bitcoin over this period? Uppies, I think useless. Honestly, I think as I said, Bitcoin's useless right now. I'm not focused on Bitcoin. It's still 20% of the portfolio, but I'm not doing anything with it. HCB said, what if we don't hit 3.71 and aren't close to it? What will you sell? Ooh, that's a good fucking question right there. That's what you guys should have asked. That's what everyone should have asked. Yeah. Yeah, if we don't hit 3.71, and I'll give it leniency. I'll give it some leniency. I think we can have like 1 week in September is okay because the second week is going to be FOMC, you know? So I think that's okay. If it doesn't hit, and honestly, I didn't even think about this myself. I'm so confident in the fact that it will hit that I literally just haven't thought about this. If it doesn't hit but gets kind of close, like let's say this. Let's say it takes this low, 3.96, right under 4%. I'll probably start selling there too. So let's just say that. Great fucking question. And you're making me think about something that I honestly didn't even think about myself. Yeah, what if it doesn't? I've been right about everything, and I just assume I'm going to be right. But what if I'm not right? I need to protect myself. If we hit 3.96 under 4, yeah, I'll probably start selling there too. And then the majority at 3.71. And then if we trade back above 4, I'll sell. So there you go. That's it. Radul said, maybe dumb question. Ethereum Classic and ETH is not the same thing. Yeah, they're not the same thing. I won't go into the fundamentals of what each of the projects do, but ETC trades differently than ETH does, but they generally trade in tandem. It's just like how NQ and ES trade together. Struxy said, I have a question not related to stocks, but Pal, if someone's looking to buy a home, should they wait till a federal meeting? Oh, shit. You should talk. Where is Zaz? We have a mortgage officer in here. I have heard I've had some conflicting opinions about interest rate cuts and what the mortgage market does. Can a mortgage officer answer this question for me? Because my idea was rate cuts were good, but I don't think it actually relates to mortgage. So someone let me know who has a little bit more knowledge. Cryptic Hustle said, I have 100K in Bitcoin ETH holdings. Would you suggest I get out at the end of this run and buy back later? Yes. I'm very heavy on Sol. What's your opinion on Sol? ETH looks good. Are you going to sell XRP also? Yes. So around 3.7, when you consider selling ETH? Yes. Is there a good or bad period or season to invest in crypto, or any time is good? Yeah, there's good and bad periods for sure. I just showed you the chart. So like I think the past since February, honestly since November. Yeah, November to January, and then February all the way until now. It's been good. Broham said, just because rate cuts happen doesn't translate over. Yeah, that's what I thought. Mortgage rates are different than rate cuts. Yeah, that's what I thought too. I for the longest time, I always thought that rate cuts from the Fed would then change bank mortgage rates. But yeah, you're right. It doesn't directly correlate as much as we'd want it to. So yeah, we'll see, man. I wish. Mortgage. Yeah, I know that mortgage rates are different than interest rate cuts. I know that, but I always had the idea that they just moved together. But recently, I was actually talking to people in the mortgage space, and they were confirming that it doesn't work like that. So I learned, and now you learned. If you're looking to buy a home, I think there's better ways to buy homes in a high interest rate environment, such as sell to agreements and LLC entity transfers, where you can absorb someone's interest rate, which you'd want to absorb someone who bought during COVID. So you could absorb 2, 3, 4%, which is possible, very, very much possible. Okay, let's continue on. What did I want to do next? We're done with crypto. Let's move forward to indexes. All right, so let's go over very quickly on Friday why I was long bias. If you don't believe I was long bias, you can just go to Friday. I wasn't in stream Friday. Sorry, guys. I was riding a bike in Switzerland. You probably saw the video I sent. But nonetheless, I was able to read the market before it opened, took a small option long play in a previous day high. Pretty sick. This is why I was long, or at least had a long bias. A few things coming into Friday. And I fully understand that I got very lucky with what Jerome Powell said on Friday. So yeah, it helps that happened, but the good thing the bias was right anyways. Trendline liquidity. We had it building it for a long time. All this means is that we have all of these highs right here. We got highs here that need to get hit. We got highs here that need to get hit. We got highs here that need to get hit. And then eventually, the most recent lower high, which is going to be Asia highs on Friday, was these. So if we look at Asia, let me take off this EMA here. This is a huge lesson for you guys. This was the high. So if we look at this right here, these were the highs. And technically, this is actually incorrect. It was these, but nonetheless, Asia highs was lower. This was the high that produced the new low, meaning this should be a strong high. The high should not break because the trend is bearish, meaning a lower low should be formed and then a lower high. However, if a higher high is formed, this is basic market structure education here. If a higher high is formed after the previous bearish trend, it means the market is likely to reverse. Now, the next thing that happened was London high got swept, and then we had to target a piece of liquidity, which is this 1 hour fair value gap. It's also the 15-minute fair value gap here. If this hits, you go long. And I think you guys took this long with Hunter. I don't know, but market opened at 6:30 a.m. right here. Boom, instant. And then by 6:37 a.m., the ILM was there. Did you guys take this trade on Friday? Yes, owner financing. You guys, some of you took it, some of you didn't. All right, whatever. Someone said, we desperately need you in the live this week. We got cooked. I'm sorry if you guys got cooked last week. I'll be in it this week. I don't know if I'll be in it tomorrow, to be fair. Tomorrow is my special day, so maybe I'll be there. But nonetheless, even if you didn't take it Friday, I posted it in my channel beforehand. So it was there nonetheless. But anyways. So let's talk about NQ in totality. That was simply just Friday's price action and why I believed it was going to go up, why I posted about it, and why I posted a profit on it. Let's delete everything and let's start what all of you NASDAQ guys love, which is full top-down analysis. So what I'm going to do right now for you guys is literally break down the monthly all the way to the minute 15 time frame to show you exactly what the market's likely to do. I do this every week to show you what is likely to happen, and then we look back on it at the weekend and see if we did right. So let's go into this. Last week, I should probably talk about what we talked about last week, though, to see if we were right. The whole bias from last week was we were going to move down. If you don't remember, on Sunday, it was like, hey, we daily ILM. This was it right here. So if you go to, what was it? I don't know, maybe the Wednesday stream. What day is this? Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, so this day right here, this was market open on Monday, this day right here. I told you guys there's a daily ILM to the downside. We're most likely going to trade lower. So we got last week's bias perfect. You know, we traded lower, which is great. But what happened in the past doesn't exactly matter too much. We got to keep making profit every single week. So let's go through it right now. This is previous weekly high, or sorry, this is previous monthly high. PMH. Let's move down. There's really not much for us to look at as far as PD arrays. Like we have a monthly fair value gap here, but again, you guys know I don't like monthly fair value gaps. They're just too large and definitely way too inconsistent. Few things to note. Coming into this week, we do have a previous weekly low sweep. So this is previous weekly low. I know you can't really see it. And then we have previous weekly highs. This is just all-time high at this point, so it's not that important, but we're going to label it anyways. So previous month high has been swept. The previous weekly low has been swept. There's no PD arrays or fair value gaps order blocks for us to label, so we won't. And we'll look at this now. So we do have this last up candle before the move up. These purge liquidity. This was the order block that had to hold. It did. Great. This week is a tad tricky only because it's hard to determine if the market's going to continue off this momentum because we're trading into something that's not too good. Can anyone tell me, without me saying what it is, what are we trading into on Monday that's not that good? Yeah, sell side imbalance and the daily fair value gap. So whether or not you believe in fair value gaps doesn't fucking matter to me. I'm making a fuck ton of money using them, so we're going to consider this a high chance of liquidity to be traded through here. There's going to be a bunch of sells on Monday. There's going to be a bunch of buys on Monday. So I don't know exactly what's likely to happen here, but there is one thing I can tell you. The one thing is we are still in a bullish market structure on the high time frame, so like on the daily. You can see here because we have the sell side liquidity. This is our sell side imbalance, and then we have this sell side imbalance as well. Neither of them have been hit. So although last week was bearish, on the daily we are still much so in a bullish segmentation. So we're still moving. We're just creating, this is the lower or the higher low, the higher high, higher low. Again, if you guys want me to make it even more simple, let's do this. Boom. Copy, paste, boom. So basic market structure again. Boom. Put this one down here. So again, there's nothing really bearish about these high time frames, but there's small bearish entities really that we have to focus on, which is this daily gap. So let's move down one more time frame. I'm going to go to the 4 hour, and we're going to figure out if there's anything else on the 4 hour that makes sense for us to trade into that may be bad. Was there a 200 EMA that we maybe traded through? Yeah, there was. So last time we bounced from this. This time we kind of bounced from it a little ugly, not exactly as much as we'd want. And now we have bullish structure that helps us through this gap. So here's why I say this week's a bit tricky, is because we are in fact trading into this bearish gap, but we also made a fucking huge bullish gap at the Jerome Powell news at 7 a.m. on Friday. So yes, we're trading into a bearish gap. There's a bullish one right below us. Depending on what Asia and London do, we'll have liquidity to target. Right now, it's just the highs. And then after that, it's previous week highs, and then we just go to all-time high. Most of the time, when someone believes that the market's going to turn bearish, 90% of the people online talking about that just want to do it because they're now on the bias, or they make more money if the market goes bearish. I make more money if the market continues up. And I am not positioned for downside right now, so I'm going to follow what the bias says and where my portfolio wants it to go, which is up. Even if my portfolio didn't want to go up and it wanted to go down, I would tell you that, as I did last week as it moved down. But nonetheless, still very bullish. Massive hourly fair value gap. As soon as this was made, this is why it's a little odd, as soon as this gap was made, we really didn't have much to trade for the rest of the day. So Friday traded up immediately and then just sat sideways. So I have no idea what Monday's going to do, and we just have to wait for it to open. We did have a market structure shift, which was here at 23,450, and I believe that we're most likely going to continue the upside. So that's the bias. The likelihood is we go up, all right? The likelihood is we go up. The unlikely scenario is that we invert this gap to the downside. Can it happen? Of fucking course. Anything can fucking happen. But you need to know where the probabilities are, because you have to base all of your decisions on probability, not your feeling. If you just felt like your 16 was good enough in blackjack, you would lose 99% of the time. If you just feel like the market's going to drop, but you have nothing and no data to support it, you're going to lose 99% of the time. So listen when I say this, because the market is quite literally positioned for upside. So keep that in mind. Anyways, any questions on this? This week is typically a green week in the past, which doesn't, but yeah, it's a green week. That helps a little bit. Could we potentially form ascending triangle, rising wedge? Yeah, I mean, I don't use trendline patterns anymore, but we definitely could. Could we? What time frame is the best to get the most accurate fair value gap? This is a great question. There is no time frame to get the best fair value gap. The way you get the best fair value gap is a gap that forms after liquidity was taken. So if Asia low hits and then a fair value gap is made to the upside, that's a good gap. A fair value gap that's in the middle of a range doesn't matter that much to me. One that happens after liquidity because there's an ignition in the market. A lot of trades are happening, a lot of orders are changing hands, meaning there's higher value in the gaps near that level. That's where you find the best fair value gaps. But if you want time frames, yeah, like Don Nico said, 15-minute, 4-hour daily, and weekly. Those are the only, you can see from what I did in my top-down analysis, I only use those time frames. Davance at times fractal, yeah, exactly. Do you guys think my TP is far too on Litecoin? No. You gonna record this and you started earlier? Yeah, I recorded this. I do apologize if you guys missed it because it was an early recording, but it is fully, I'm recording right now. So we're good. All right, that's NQ. Any questions? I think it goes up this week. No questions? We'll move on. What should we talk about next? Silver. Good week on silver. Keep buying it. I mean, what else the fuck you want me to say? Gold? What? Guys, what do I think of silver and gold? Just answer for me. I've been saying it for months, actually years. I've been saying it for years. My opinion doesn't change. Yeah, buy. Just buy it. If you want something easy, you want to stash equity somewhere that you believe inflation is going to eat at, just fucking buy gold, buy silver. Buy the equity of it, buy the underlying derivative, which is SLV or GLD. They're going to go up. I've been saying for fucking years now. You cannot be fucking bearish on commodities. Maybe copper. Maybe fucking copper you can be bearish on. Anyways. Oil too. Yeah, fuck. I say you can't be bearish on commodities. Oil is the worst commodity of all time. Unless you're a Saudi prince and you have direct access to oil reserves, then it's a little bit of a different story. Ezra said, what about oil? Oil's gay. Oil is literally fucking gay. You should never buy it or trade it. You shouldn't actually do anything with gold or with oil. Also, oil traded at a negative value back in 2020. So take that with a grain of salt, but going negative is pretty fucking gay to me. And sorry if you're gay and you find this offensive, but that shit's gay as fuck. Do you use SMT between NQ and ES and YM? If yes, do you trade on the stronger one? I do not use YM, but I do use SMTs with NQ and ES. And the one of the only SMTs I actually like is when NQ takes a lower high and ES doesn't, because that's a signature of a reversal. Never heard of something trading negative before? Yeah. Oil traded negative. If you guys want to learn why oil traded negative, go watch. There's tons of YouTube videos, and they're honestly really interesting. Because if you don't know what happened during COVID, obviously the market was dropping heavily. A lot of oil contracts, these are futures contracts that destroy the market. A lot of oil contracts were going lower and lower and lower in price, and no one wanted to buy them because if you don't know, you have to exercise them at some point. So it's getting close to expiration, and each contract associated 100 barrels of oil. So what the fuck are you going to do with the oil if you get exercised? Does the local Chase Bank have enough room for 100 barrels of oil? If your local branch had barrels of oil during COVID in their parking lot, I know what happened. And that's exactly what happened. The reason it went negative is because these fucking massive hedge funds didn't have the right or the means to accept contracts, and they had to because price trade lower. No one wanted to buy it. So if no one wants to buy the oil, it had to go negative because they had to pay someone to take the fucking contracts off them. Because if they were to accept it, they're now on the hook for 100 fucking barrels of oil per contract they're trading. Most of the time when people are trading derivatives, it's like farmers who are hedging against crops, right? And futures degenerates who are trying to make money off of the market on speculation. When speculation goes wrong, futures, technically, you're on the hook for something. Like with options, if you sell options, you're on the hook for that option when it gets exercised. So that's what happened. It's fucking great story. Great fucking story when oil did that. You should go watch a YouTube video about it. It fucking was so cool. Fire explanation. Yeah, you're welcome. Are you using a brokerage account for gold and silver? Yes, I'm using Robinhood, but I do also, not to flex, I do also have a massive storage of physical silver. I don't have much physical gold. Physical gold's not that cool. Contrary to what you may think, physical gold costs a lot of money to get a little bit. This is how much, like, 10 grand in gold is, like a bar, like a full bar. 10 grand in silver is like my whole table filled. That's awesome. When people come over and like, you want to see my fucking silver? And then I show them all my big ass silver bars. Gold's not that interesting. So buy gold on exchange, buy silver in person. That shit's fun. Or maybe not in person. You can buy it on apmex.com. They have good rates. I digress. Let's continue forward. Let's talk about the dollar index. Yeah, I mean, it's not looking good. Like I've been saying, the dollar it's not looking for my pocket. I lost 12%. Fuck. I lost 12% of all my USD. In fucking what was this? A year? Yeah, 180, half a year? Fuck, man. So yeah, and I'm still bearish on the dollar. I think this shit absolutely fucking breaks. And this will be sad because it'll be the first time we've seen a break since... Oh god, I even hate looking at this. I hate looking at this because it just brings up fucking PTSD. Yeah, but yeah, you can see what happened. 2002 wasn't good for U.S. citizens, and I'm a U.S. citizen. And we had to wait till 2008 for them to keep printing to fucking change the market. So you can probably see where my head's at. If this happens, it's okay. It's really good for equities, but fuck, bro, you cannot hold. You can't hold your money anymore. Like every dollar that comes into your bank, you need to spend on investments. Which isn't bad, but damn, I hate when it looks like this because sometimes I like to hold cash. And when you have this potential massive black swan event, and then it happened in obviously the crash of '86. If you guys remember, obviously I wasn't born then, but if you remember about it, I fucking didn't trade this. I also didn't trade 2001. I was a fucking toddler. I should have been trading. My parents should have gave me a fucking account by then. What the fuck were they thinking? I should have been trading the 2001 crash. These idiots. Idiots, dude. Sorry, Dad, if you're watching. Yeah, Europe trip is 12% more expensive. It is, and I'm feeling it. Especially when I went to Switzerland. Fuck Switzerland. Holy shit. My currency went nowhere there. Am I buying physical uranium? Oof. What was the website to buy silver? APMEX. APMEX. Are you still testing Casper strategy? Already got all the data. It's not good. Look, if Casper watches this, no hate, you're my fucking boy. I front tested it with the data, and it wasn't more profitable than what I'm already doing. So I shouldn't say it's bad. It just didn't work in my favor where I would ever use it consistently. And that's the goal, is like test things out, and if it's better than what you're doing, then do that. And I tested it, and it's not better than what I'm doing, so I'm not going to do it. You should all do it too. Like, fuck it. If you don't believe me, go test it yourself the last month and see how it did. He made a claim of how profitable it was. All I did was front test it. He's still my boy. Nothing wrong. Nothing's wrong with that. You know, someone's going to take this out of context for sure. So I'm trying to save my ass here. Still holding FCX call. Oh, you're holding FCX? I do not know what's going on with that. Let's check. Oh, you're okay. Yeah, you're good. You're good. I forgot FCX was commodities. Good. Spent $80 on... Dude, I spent $80 on fucking trash fondue. I probably went to the exact same place as you. I was kind of upset. I was like, this tastes like fucking shit. The fuck? My girl makes better fondue. It was in Lucerne, alright, but we both had Switzerland fondue. It wasn't really that good. Am I buying more Hood? Yeah, probably. How was Grindelwald? Fucking great. Fucking great. This dude said fucking Velveeta. God damn, that brings back memories. Okay. What else did I want to talk about? Google. I am probably I'm probably buying more Google on Monday. And you're like, it's trading at all-time high. Why the fuck would you pay that price? Well, first off, someone has to. Someone has to buy all-time high for it to keep going. And fuck it, it's going to be me. And also, the reason I want to do it is because there was a recent research report I was reading about Google, and just their top three services are already over 3 trillion in value, and Google's only trading at like 3.6 trillion market cap. And they have tons of other shit. So like, what was it? It was Deep AI, Google Search SEO and YouTube, and what the fuck was the third one? It wasn't Waymo. Cloud services. So those 3 services that Google offers alone are already worth their market cap. So I think Google's undervalued right now. And I know that sounds weird because they're already a multi-trillion-dollar company, but they are. Fucking bet on the giant. Bet on the giant. How do I get my little brother into trading from now? What should I teach him first as a beginner? Is he still too long? How young is he? If he's fucking 10, don't destroy his childhood by getting him involved in trading, dog. Oh, he's 15? Let that little dude live, dog. Don't. Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't. If he's 15, how young is 15? What grade are you? Where are you in life at 15? 8th grade? Yeah. June. The thing I would get him interested in is finance. So I would get him. You just said he's 5'11", 167. Why are you bringing up his weight and height like it fucking changes? Like it changes anything. Anyways, my full opinion. He's 5'11", bro. What do you mean he shouldn't learn trading right now? Oh God. But yes. Teach him about economics. I would say let him watch some fun movies. Let him watch Wolf of Wall Street. Let him watch The Boiler Room. Let him watch The Big Short. And if he watches those movies and gets interested, like and starts asking you questions during the movie, like oh, this is cool. Like how's that work? Or what's short selling? Or why did 2008 happen? Now you got the cogs moving. You can't just put him right into trading and looking at candles, because that's not how people get into trading. We get into trading because we're interested how money revolves around the world, and then trading is the final destination, because then we can make money from our knowledge now. So yeah, let the homie watch some cool movies, bro. He's young. Watch some cool movies, and you'll see. Yeah, you'll see. He'll love Wolf of Wall Street for sure. Yeah. You know, not everyone's built to trade, I'll tell you that. Not everyone's built to trade, and if you force some people to learn it, they may just resent it. You may actually do more harm. Like, what's the saying? Like, if you force your kid to play sports and they don't want to do it yet, you're hurting them, and in an alternate reality, they would have really liked to do it if they found it on their own. I think it's the same thing for your brother. Is if you kind of like force him into it, like, here's trading, or watch Playboy's videos, he's gonna be like, dude, I don't fucking know what I'm watching. Why would I even? You need to get him interested. He needs to want to do it because all of you wanted to do it. So watch some movies, bro. That's how I would fucking do it. That's it. My brother doesn't try to learn it, so I just tell him divvy stocks to put money in, and I move him in and out of a few long terms. Every few minutes he seems more interested. Yeah, there you go. I was playing Fortnite every day at 15. Yeah, but are you 5'11"? Okay, all right. All right. Let's move forward. What are my thoughts on nuclear energy stocks? Good, buy. Nuclear energy is the future. Okay, stocks. What else? Alibaba. So this is a Chinese stock. It's just the Chinese Amazon, if you will. They currently are one of my most recent purchases, and they have earnings on, holy shit, Friday of this week. I guess there's not much for me to say, but I'm still holding. And we're in profit, which is cool, so nothing much else. Intel is the literal most recent purchase. Intel had a daily break retest, and the U.S. government, I know this is weird for me to say, the U.S. government owns 10% of Intel now, which is kind of weird, but they do, and that's why I bought it. Oh yeah. Oh shit. PDD. Thank you guys. I don't own this though. So fuck. As much as I want to talk about this. I don't own this stock. Maybe you guys do, but I wish I owned it because it's doing way better than fucking Alibaba right now. But I guess I can still give my opinion. I think PDD is also great. So, have I heard of Palantir? Go look at what I bought in April when Fuck it. Right here. Go look to see if I bought the Palantir dip when it was fucking 47% off. And then you'll know if I know about Palantir. Never fade Peter Thiel. Fuck yeah, dude. Never fade him. And what about India economy, bro? Any idea? Are you Indian? You live in India? I don't know shit. What's it called? The Nifty 50? Nifty. You guys want to look at the Indian stock market? Here's the Indian stock market. Whoa, you guys do great. Holy shit. Whoever talks shit about India hasn't looked at their recovery from 2008. Look at that. You almost 10x'd your money in what is that? A lot of years. What did ES do in 10 years? I think it was better, right? No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. The Nifty 50. Great name, by the way. Fucking outperformed us. I guess it's bullish, bro. You guys have some drastic swings, though. Actually, no, you don't. I'm a liar. That's only minus 17%. Yeah, it looks fucking good, I guess. I would never touch this hot garbage, but it respects the daily EMA. You want to put some respect on India? Check this shit out. It definitely respects this fucking EMA a lot. A fuck lot. That sounded weird. My bad. Can you take Play It Public so I can buy shares? Fuck, bro. Maybe we do a hedge fund instead. Could you look at ASTR? What the fuck is that? What is this? I don't even know where to look. Is it this? Funny thing is the option market cap in India is way higher than the stock market cap. So motherfuckers are gambling options on stock directions, but no one's buying the stocks. All right. Okay, that's the stream. I have no idea how long I've been. Let me